Where should we have our office Christmas party this year? Hey everybody, I'm Dr. Chris Griffin, and I just want to give you guys some of the insights that I've accumulated over being a dentist for over 20 years and some of the cool things that my staff's done for me and I've done for them. And one of our favorite things to do every single year is to have a big fun Christmas party, okay? And we've done it about every way you can do it. So let's go over one of the questions I always get. Hey, where should we have our Christmas party this year, you know? And so let's go over some of the different ways, some of the different things you guys can do. Let me put on my Santa hat here and we'll get to work. So one of the first big questions you got to answer is, hey, are we going to have this party here in our dental practice, or are we going to have this party off-site? Okay, and then there's a lot of other options to go to, but that's the first big one. And we've done it both ways. We've had the Christmas party, you know, off-site in a restaurant. We've had catered spaces before. Also, we've had it here. We've had it catered here. So one of the worst ones we ever did. Let me just tell you the worst one we ever did. So this is back when I thought I had to work all the time. So I was willing only to take out like a 2-hour block out of a day that we're already seeing patients to have the Christmas party. And I thought, well, it'll work, you know, we'll get in there, we'll have the food ready, we'll eat, and then we'll do a little game, and then we'll get back to work and see patients, right? Well, anyway, we don't do that anymore, so don't get any bright ideas. But what can happen? Here's some pitfalls if you're thinking of doing it that way. So what can happen happened to us. It's all, by the way, always happens to us, everything bad you could think of. So we get ready. We've taken off from 11 to 1 to have our Christmas party, right? So we get in there, we're waiting on the food. 11:10, not here yet. 11:15, not here yet. I'm like, hey, you better call the people that are catering and let's see where it is. And so the restaurant that's catering the food, right? Everybody's picked out there. We've already pre-ordered. Everything's ready to go. The restaurant's like, hey, we've had several people call in sick and your food's ready, but we don't have anybody to bring it to you. And so we're like, okay, well, should somebody come get it? And they're like, oh, no, we'll have somebody there in a minute. So anyway, 11:30 goes by, 11:45. So now I'm like, well, we better, you know, we've been talking and drinking punch or whatever. Now I'm like, well, let's go ahead and play the game. And so we're playing the game. By the time we're through with our office game, about say 12:15, the food finally rolls in, right? So now it kind of throws everything off. We messed up our game. The food's cold, and so you know how your staff feels about cold food at the Christmas party. And then the rest of the day, everybody's just grumpy and aggravated. So look, I do not suggest the catered 2-hour Christmas party there. Now what can happen is if you have a day you're not seeing patients, you know, we don't see patients on Thursdays and Fridays. We have a Thursday, we have it catered in, great, 11 a.m. Catered, it shows up, no problem. Everything's here. We take as long as we want to. You know, everybody hangs out, and you know, then they come and they go a couple hours later, and that works really good. And you know, but here's the thing too. Remember, when you have your office Christmas party, it's not important what the doctor cares about eating necessarily. The doctor wants you guys, the staff members, to be happy. So you guys pick what you want to eat. We're more than happy to pay for it as long as you guys are having a good time. It's really, the party is for you guys, not the doctor. Now, out of office spaces. So you can do the deal where you just, you know, we had a really small office. We would just like get a table at a restaurant reserved, right? So we actually, my very first Christmas party, we just had a party of 6 at a table at a restaurant. And it worked okay when there's only like me and 2 employees and everybody's spouse. That's fine. So we did that. As you graduate up, now you have to kind of look for a space, you know, big enough to hold everybody. So a room of what, 10, 12, 14 people if it's just the staff. You got to find that, get that coordinated. Usually you want to get those coordinations done a couple of months ahead of Christmas, you know, a month at least, so the restaurant, everybody's on the same page. Once you go into that space, now you could have a deal where you just got a space rented where you have that catered, which is fine. We've done that before. We've rented out the country club and had a caterer come out and bring everything there. We've also, you know, now we usually just get a big room at a restaurant that has a back room around lunch, and we do that on a day we're not seeing patients, and we just hang out and have a great time. So that's the thing to do. Another thing to think about, are you going to have spouses or not? You know, let's say you go off-site and you have spouses. Well, now you got to think about what are you going to do. Are you going to transport everybody Or are you going to let them show up on their own? You know, one year we went to a Christmas party. We had it about an hour away. And we actually rented a limousine. Now this, I'm thinking, okay, I'm the coolest doctor around. I got this huge stretch Humvee limousine and everybody's going to the Christmas party. Well, everybody had their spouse. So strike one, right? Had the spouse. Everybody's acting a little bit weird because the spouses are there. We get to the restaurant. Strike two on me. I let them drink alcohol. So, you know, didn't have a no alcohol rule. So some of the spouses drank too much alcohol. And strike three, everybody's riding home together for an hour. Well, guess what happens when some people drink too much alcohol and other people just have problems in tight, confined spaces, feeling like maybe they're claustrophobic. You guessed it, we have some vomiting in the Humvee limousine, and so then we're stopped on the side of the road and people are puking, and then from that point all the way back to the dental office parking lot, the limo smells like vomit. So these are some things that you really want to think about before you get there. You don't want to have to make the decision in front of everybody when you see somebody taking too many shots of tequila at the Christmas party. Oh heck, what's going to happen tonight? Should I have maybe had a rule in the beginning? So party planners, let's get all that straight on the front end. So now we obviously have a no alcohol rule at all of our Christmas parties. So do what makes you happy. That's just the experience that we've had. Another thing we've done, we've had it in my house. Now, you know, the doctor's house is a good place for a Christmas party. You know, obviously you can have, everybody can get comfortable and it seems pretty nice. We enjoyed it. Now, I will say on my end, me personally, it made my spouse a little bit stressed out. We haven't had it there ever again. We just did it the one time. And so for me, it's worth spending the extra money to have something catered off-site so that my spouse doesn't get all freaked out about, you know, she doesn't get freaked out about, hey, are people going to find dog hair in their food? Because we've got like 2 border collies in the house and stuff like that. So anyway, the house can be cool, but just remember, it can put undue stress on your significant other. Okay? And lastly, one thing that I have never done, but we've definitely heard, is off-site retreats. So you can have people that just go like off-site and have a fun day of it. You know, they just take a day off and they go rent a big space at wherever and they just have a big fun time. Maybe even spend the night. Like I've heard of people getting a big space at a state park and having the Christmas party, get together, fun time, then spend the night and come in the next day. Whatever you want to do is fine there. Just, you know, the more it gets complicated, the more chance you have for stress. So there you go, guys. There's some excellent options on where to have your Christmas party. Hope you make the right decision this year.